no crazy long intro. Let's just get right into it. This is the Adventure Force Springfire. And it is absolute garbage. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, why make this? Why would you make essentially an inferior smart AR blaster? Why would you make a blaster that turns? That you have to manually turn the barrel? Just so you know, you might think, oh, this blaster was probably made before the rough cut was made, right? Wrong! This NERF blaster was made in 2020. Let me rattle off a few NERF blasters that had smart AR system. Of course, we have my favorite NERF blaster of all time, the Double Strike. And then we had the Triad. And then you also might say that this is kind of a relevant case because it's kind of a primary, but we had the Death Trooper blaster. All of these came out at least 4 years before this came out. So why make it? Why make something that you could just make better? Here's the thing. Sure, the Double Strike is practically the same size as the Springfire, maybe a little bit smaller. But it is far more advanced and far more capable. If you don't know what Smart AR is, let me explain to you. Smart AR was first introduced from... Hold on a second, let me just run over to get the blaster that started it all. Okay, here we are. This was the blaster that started it all with the Smart AR systems. The Rough Cut. This blaster came out in 2012. The Rough Cut 2x4. Alright? So 8 years before this came out. Then, here's how it works. You see this barrel right here? This barrel is not loaded. But this bottom one is. And watch. Smart AR allows the bottom barrel, the barrel that is loaded, to fire without having the top barrel to be loaded. And Smart AR is very popular with a lot of NERF blasters. This is a great example. And this is the blaster that started it all. This is the blaster that's credited for starting off the Smart AR trend. And even companies outside of NERF have done Smart AR with good examples like the Air Warriors Baron, which is a great blaster, by the way. And yeah, like I said, this came out in 2012. So 8 years later, Adventure Force decided to make this, even though they had basically every possibility you had with a dart blaster. Why? Just why? Just why? Why use this over single-shot blasters like the Reflex or, of course, the Jolt? Seriously, and you basically hate when this happens. You first get this blaster, you expect it to turn as soon as you either prime it or fire it. But no, you have to manually turn it. I can imagine you scrambling for your life in a Nerf war, just trying to rattle off shots fast, but you can't because you have to manually turn it. And don't get me started on when this happens. Honestly, that wasn't good. Yeah. Imagine this happening to you. Darts here. Darts right here. Supposed to go here. You accidentally turned it too far, and now you can't fire it. You can't fire it because the dart is not in the position that it's supposed to be in for you to fire the dart. This is hot garbage. Now, this one is also a pretty weird case. Darts on Spring... No, I keep wanting to say Darts on. Adventure Force Springfire is a rather weird case because it's actually pretty good when it comes to... It's actually pretty good when it comes to performance. This is like the only time you'll ever see a blaster that is complete garbage, but actually performed pretty good in this series. So, let's turn on the chronograph. What I put? Okay, here's all the darts. And just like you saw, there are 2 of them. I have 2 Dart Zone Springfires. If I say Dart Zone one more time, I'm gonna lose it. Because I keep wanting to say Dart Zone. For some reason, I get Dart Zone confused with Adventure Force. And Buzzbee confused with, you know, because they're very similar for some reason to me. So here we go. 60.5. And of course, we gotta manually turn it just like this. The turn-in is also a pain as well. So there's that. 52.6. Unbelievable. 62.3. 70.5. We're going to use the other one now. Because, why not? We'll do it for the love of the game. And also, pulling the plunger back is very uncomfortable. And just so you know, watch this. Look how much I have to pull the trigger in order to fire it. It's a pretty long trigger. Not firing. Now it fires. Pretty long trigger. 65.2. Okay, at least this one turns a little better. 59.7. 48.8. Oh, that's really bad. Ow. Yeah, turning this also hurts as well. 75 flat. So yeah, not terrible performance, but it doesn't help the fact that these blasters are garbage. So in conclusion of this video, if you ever see these blasters, do not buy them. Save your money for a better Nerf blaster that actually, if you want a small Nerf blaster, if you want to use a small Nerf blaster with 4 shots, you use either the Quadrant or the Scout Mark II if you have it. Or also blasters like the Quadrot and the thousands of 4-shot blasters Alpha Strike and Nerf Elite 2.0 have. Those blasters are even better than those, because you can actually rattle off shots very fast. These, it's almost impossible to rattle off shots very fast. Heck, even the Double Strike, you can rattle off shots pretty fast. Now you must be thinking, Ben, are you sure? Yeah. You can rattle off 2 shots very fast. Imagine if this had 4 darts. Imagine how fast you can rattle off shots. Okay, well, there's the Doomlands I think it's called the Persuader. It's basically the Double Strike, but it's from Doomlands and has 4 shots, but you get my point. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's called the Persuader, so there's that. So again, in conclusion in this video, Don't waste your money on these. Do not waste your money. And this is the only thing that it's good for. Bottoms up! Please tell me that destroyed both of those. Oh, come on!